Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Talkin Wrasslin podcast with your host, the macho-loving, cornet carny, little munchkin Denny Vale. And the Jacksonville wrestling fan, whose favorite wrestlers, of course, are forever and always will be the Young Bucks. Lyssie Vale. Together, these two give a retrospective of the week in the professional wrestling world throughout all promotions across the world. So let's jump into this week's episode. Oh my God!
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Talkin Wrasslin. I'm your host for the week, Lyssie, who currently had all of their money stolen by Jack Perry. Here I have Dylan.
I'm dying right now.
Who is dying and didn't have all of his money stolen by Jack Perry. What am I talking about? Well, we'll discuss in a little bit. But hello, welcome to the opening. Dylan's dying.
I'm okay now.
Dylan took a hit of his vape before this started, and he literally just collapsed. He didn't actually collapse.
I think my fucking lung collapsed.
He was
shit.
not doing the greatest. But
shit.
Anyway, hi, welcome. So basically, we don't have any wrestling news. I'm doing the summary of the episode for you, by the way.
This episode's gonna be unorganized.
It's gonna be unorganized. It's gonna be a train wreck. I'm exceptionally tired. Which we'll get into that as to why I'm exceptionally tired, Dylan.
Oh yeah, we had so much fun today.
We're recording this Monday. It's Monday around like 4 o'clock. So there's no wrestling news of the week, unless you could think of anything.
The most of the wrestling news kind of falls into All Out, which that's the main topic of this podcast today.
So
is All Out. Like that's more so the wrestling. There wasn't like any like fucking Dave Meltzer sucks off Will Ospreay or something like that.
Which might have happened. We just didn't hear about it.
Or, like, the only, like, news I can really think about, but it's, I don't even know if it's fucking true. I only saw it by, like, 3 people.
Oh, the little, like, backstage thing at All Out.
Not even that. There was something I forgot to bring up to you, because I was looking at it when we were walking around today and stuff. And there's news that, AEW trademarked a new name, Shockwave, for a potential new TV show, and it's going to be on Fox.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, me either.
But, okay.
And the backstage thing, too, but...
that's neither here nor there, really.
I don't even know what the fuck going on with that. That was reported by fucking Brian Alvarez, so...
But aside from that, without the wrestling news and any of it being that quick little couple of seconds... we'll be talking a bit about Raw, a bit about Dynamite, a bit about Smackdown, and mainly about All Out.
Yeah, it's mainly All Out.
And then the Wrestler of the Week, which I don't have. Honestly, I might figure it out as we talk about All Out.
You're looking at him.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about Nigel McGuinness, honestly, but...
Nigel McGuinness.
What are we watching, Dylan? What's on the television screen?
It is Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness from Ring of Honor Unified 2006 for Nigel McGuinness's Pure title and Bryan Danielson's Ring of Honor Championship in Nigel McGuinness's hometown of England.
This is when Bryan Danielson was bald, right?
Yes.
Shaved head or something? He looked so funky.
There he is.
Yeah, what a weird looking dude.
Nigel McGuinness got his fucking spike hair.
How 2000s.
Right?
Like, how 2000s of this moment.
And now he looks like my dad.
Yeah, he does look like your dad.
Well, my dad used to spike his hair, too. My dad used to have blonde
I think
hair.
your dad is Nigel McGuinness, and he's not telling you.
Shit.
Have you ever been in the same room as Nigel McGuinness and your dad?
No, but if... No.
I think your dad's lying in that he's actually British.
Shit.
You're British.
So that means I have Nigel McGuinness' social security number.
Yeah. Which we'll get into.
My dad had to give me his.
We've had a wild day. So basically, we'll give a summary of the week, or of our week. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I think it's better if I go first, because it can lead into... Because you're going to get...
All right, well, hand me my fucking Red Bull while you tell everybody about why I'm tired.
You're gonna get to it, and people are going to be like, well, that makes no sense. Like, what happened with Dylan's week? And then I'm going to tell it and be like, all right, so...
You gotta keep the audience waiting, but sure.
Yeah, Lissy, ask me about...
How the fuck was your week?
It was all right. Football happened. Football's back. Go Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Duval.
That's why there's not much wrestling to be talked about this week, because we care about football in this household. Notre Dame fucking sucks, so that's cool. And then today I was gonna go to work because today's Monday. And I go to work on Mondays, and well, I didn't. Why? Because I couldn't. Why? Well, I got in my car, I turned the key in the ignition, and it wouldn't start.
Click, 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 click.
Fucking battery died. So mind you, it's 6:15 in the morning. Like I'm going to work. And I'm like, oh, that fucking sucks. Like literally, didn't get mad. I was just like, well, I'm calling off from work. I call work. the way I left this message was honestly the funniest shit, and it's gonna be funny tomorrow. Yeah, thank you for calling so and so. Blah blah blah. Leave a message at the tone. Hi, it's Dylan. I'm not gonna make it in today because I think my car battery is dead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna work on getting it fixed today. I'll be in tomorrow though. You can reach me at insert number here. Bye. My boss did message me. He texted me and was just like, everything good with the car? Yeah, it was a dead battery. He's like, all right. So at least he checked in on me.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, like, Dylan works with our roommate, so realistically, worst case scenario, if they couldn't get it fixed today, like, he would have been able to get a ride.
Yeah, like,
but
I know I could have asked him for a ride this morning and, like, not missed a day of work, but, like, the thing is, that doesn't solve my problem of my car.
Because then you'd have to just be trying to figure it out quicker, and then figuring out, like, the problem once you get home from work around, like, 3:30, and then even if you got it, because what would happen was we had to,
well, no, okay. So this is what we had to do.
Yeah.
So this leads into why Lissy got woken up. So I'm like, shit, I gotta figure out like what the fuck to do here. So it's like, well, I'll go wake up Lissy, I guess, because she's off today, and like it's 6:15 in the morning, man. Like I'm not fully content, and mind you, I sit there and I'm like, all right, let's fucking do this. Lissy, wake up. My car battery is dead. I need your help and your brain capacity to figure out what the fuck we should do. Because I couldn't, like, I don't know why I didn't explain to Lissy, like, what was going on. It finally came out, but I was like, the reason why I need, like, someone else to help me think this through is because we're in a parking garage.
Yeah.
If it's not the like, my head went to, like, okay, what if it's not the battery and it's, like, the fucking starter or something? I can't even start the fucking car. Like, how is a tow truck getting in this fucking parking garage?
Yeah.
Like, that was my word. Like, how the fuck is this happening?
So basically, I mean, I pretty much assumed that as soon as, like, I gained a coherentness, that was the major issue. Because the thing is, our parking garage, I mean, most parking garages aren't very tall. Learn today, our parking garage has a clearance of 7 feet. And there are parts of it that are a little bit taller, but it has these, like, concrete, like, I don't want to say pillars, because I mean there's definitely concrete pillars, but like these concrete like posts throughout it that are lowered down from the actual like top of the ceiling, and yeah, so it gets really low.
I'm a foot smaller than the parking garage.
Yeah, Dylan's 6 foot tall and he can touch like the top of like the ceiling of the parking garage. So I'm like, there's no way. There's no fucking way a tow truck's getting in here. And even if a tow truck could get in here, we don't have like a standard traditional like parking garage. Yeah, parking garages have ramps that like you keep going up to the top, but then there's like another ramp that'll take you back down. That's, I mean, yes, there is in our case, but it's not just a direct ramp down. It is literally a spiral to get down. So even if a tow truck could get in, there's no fucking way they're getting out. So we're sitting there and we're like, okay, this is a big problem. And I thought it was a starter when we went down to his car and check, because the lights were still on. Like his lights were able to go on. And I'm like, well, if the battery's dead, what's charging the lights? Like what's making the lights work? But I guess it wasn't like fully dead. It was just dead enough to not start the car.
Yeah.
Which, like, thank God.
It was trying to power stuff on.
So we called the roadside assistance company that I'm not sure if it's national.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a national one.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's like our statewide or if it's just like
I
county.
don't even know.
So
I called them.
Personally, I'm not sure. It might be, but I'm just not sure. So I'm just gonna say, roadside assistance care. And we're like, hey, this is the issue, but here's the other issue that's kind of a little bit more of like why this issue is more pressing than not. And
you gotta quote it the way I did. Hi. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Here's my information and everything. Yeah, so my problem is my car's dead. But I know you guys can fix that. That's the whole thing about this. My worry for you guys is it's in a parking garage.
Yeah. It's in a very low parking garage.
Well, do you know the clearance? I don't know.
We guesstimated 8 to 10 feet.
Yeah, I was like probably 8 to 10 feet.
And that was honestly giving it grace.
But I was like, but my other issue is if you guys can get in here, no problem. Because they were like, oh, that it might not be a problem. Like they'll come and see and everything. Okay, but my other issue that you guys would have is getting it down. If you guys needed to tow it. Because mind you, I wasn't thinking about, someone just coming to literally jump it with a battery pack or anything like that.
Yeah, and that's literally what happened was the dude pulled up with an SUV.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know they had SUVs, so that's really cool.
He called me.
Yeah.
On the way here. He's like, I got the SUV, don't worry. Because he called me and I'm like, yeah, the clearance. And he's like, don't worry about that. I got an SUV.
Yeah, so.
I was like, oh, sweet.
Luckily, that was a thing. He brought like a little battery pack and had like a little tablet or something that I guess was able to detect what was wrong.
Yeah, it was right in the
Jumped
sensors.
it and basically was like, yeah, dead battery. So jumped the car and then Dylan was like, okay, and our parking garage is secured. So we have like passes to get in and out. So Dylan had to go down and let the guy out. And as he's coming back up, he's like calling his mechanic being like, hey, can you guys replace a battery today? And then by the time he gets back up to the car, he's like, get in your car, Lyssie, we're going, follow me. So that was like literally exactly how I wanted to spend my morning today.
And it didn't even take that long.
No, I think they called you at like...
I called them at 7:40. And then they called me...
About 10:30.
10:30. Yeah, so 3 hours.
Yeah.
Bro, it didn't take that fucking long.
So...
And I didn't have... But cats were shooting.
But, yeah,
I didn't have to pay a dime, I meant to say.
Yeah, that was... Why didn't you have to pay a dime, Dylan?
Because my dad has a credit card.
And why did you need a social security number?
To get the credit card information. Because this mechanic has, a credit card that you can do, and it's, in the account and everything. And, the car that I drive is a hand-me-down from my dad. It used to be his car, but he gave it to me once my other car that I had took a ship. So he gave me that one. And he's taken that there before and everything. So I literally just gotta... When I called this mechanic, all I literally gotta do is literally be like, yeah, the car is a blah, blah, blah. I don't want to give away my car. And then... I give them my last name, and then my dad's information pops up because that car and last name is in there. And my dad was texting me because, because I called my stepmom for advice too. I was like, "What should I do?" I thought maybe she knew something of oh yeah, they'll send an SUV or something, or whatnot. And she was like, "Yeah, just call them and give them a chance, see what happens," type of thing. But. She probably obviously let my dad know oh, guess what Dylan's going through this morning, type of thing, because when I got there and dropped off the car, they just emailed. It's hooked up to my dad's email, so they emailed him and he's like, I got a credit card if you want to use it there, just FYI.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
So yeah, I mean. Wild enough fucking morning. Mind you, I got little to no sleep last night.
But we forgot the most important thing of the day. So after we get the car, we come home, and I get out of my car, and then Lyssie goes, want to go for lunch? And I'm like, sure, hell, let's fucking go. And then we're just driving. And I think it was 5 minutes in. I'm on my phone just updating my dad and my stepmom on everything. And then I was like, where are we going for lunch? And Lissy's like, don't worry about it. I was like, okay. And I let it go for a couple of minutes. And
you let it go for 30 seconds.
Was it 30 seconds?
And then you're like, wait, where are we going?
Yeah, where are we going? And you're driving. And the next thing you know, we're driving. And then I was like, wait, why are we over here? And then we're pulling into the parking lot. And I thought we were going to another restaurant. I was like, no, I don't want to go there. I was like, wait, are we going B-dubs? We're going B-dubs. We went to B-dubs. We went to B-dubs on a random Monday at 11 o'clock in the fucking morning.
11:30.
And I had a goddamn beer.
At 11:30 in the morning, we pull into fucking Buffalo Wild Wings for lunch.
And I literally, Lissy should have known that this was going to be just crazy from the start, because I was like, I hope I can get a beer at this time.
Here's the thing, right? And I told Dylan this already. I was planning to take Dylan tomorrow. Well, Tuesday. What would have been? Or today, actually, not when you're listening to this. I plan to take him because my one coworker told me, which I didn't know this, apparently Tuesdays and Thursdays they do BOGO nights at Buffalo Wild Wings, and Tuesdays it's BOGO like traditional wings, and then Thursday it's BOGO boneless bites.
We're not sponsored, by the way.
No,
We're doing this for free.
And I was like, oh, that'd be sick. I could take him for BOGO night, and we can, like, you know, get some wings and whatnot. That'd be nice. Like, we haven't really gone to, like, a sit-down restaurant in a while. Like, the most recent time we did, it was a little bit ago, it was a local restaurant, the deli that we went to.
Oh, yeah, I went to the deli.
And that was fine. Like, that was nice and whatnot. It's a nice little local restaurant and everything. But, you know, like, we haven't had the chance to, like, actually go out and sit down at restaurants or whatever. Or really the money to do it. And, you know, I mean, my paycheck was solid. And even though I have to pay to get my car fixed on Friday, I was like, it don't really matter. It wasn't that expensive at all. I think after tip, it was like $40 some.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that bad. So, I mean, it was what it was. And then we just kind of went around for the day. We went around the town and whatnot.
I just didn't want to record this podcast.
I tried the Oreo Coca-Cola, which is interesting.
It's fucking gross.
Dylan doesn't like it.
It's nasty. I hate it.
I don't think it's that bad. I do think it kind of just tastes like a sweeter cream soda. It smells identical to an Oreo, which is, honestly, that's a little more worrisome to me than the taste. The taste is fine. I probably won't buy it again. I'm not a big cream soda type of person, which... What?
Do you see the cat?
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Why there?
Which, realistically, I probably should have had, like, that much of an expectation.
Dude.
And also, I definitely should have, because we were at... He's fine there.
No, he's supposed to be over here. There's more room over there.
He's fine.
He's gonna knock everything over.
He's not doing anything.
Yes, he is.
I should have had more of an expectation for what this soda was going to taste like, especially considering we were walking around Target, which is where I found it. And these two coworkers were talking about something. Like, they were pressed. They were, like, pressed talking about this. And they were like, they didn't say the guy's name, but for context, we'll just give it, like, just for the story's sake, we'll give a name and just say, like, oh my God, so John tried that the other day. No, really? Yeah, he got it. And he said it wasn't bad. I don't believe him. I don't buy it. I'm not trying it. No, I don't know. I'm a little curious. Like, he said it was interesting, but it wasn't bad. Well, I mean, really, if anything, it probably just tastes like a chocolate cream soda, right? Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that would make the most sense. But he said it smelled like an Oreo when he opened it, so that was weird. And I'm like, as we're passing these people, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? And, like, I kind of wanted to ask, and be like, not to eavesdrop, but what the fuck are you guys talking about? And then we turned the corner over near the grocery area, and there was this, like, 10, 12 pack, whatever, of Coca-Cola Oreo Coca-Cola. And I'm like, oh, this has to be what the fuck they're talking about. And if it's not, I really want to know what they were talking about. But I'm like, I don't want to buy a 12 pack, because what if I just don't like it? And then they had, like, a bottle in the cooler, like a small bottle. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna try this, and I got it. And again, I won't buy it again. It was fun to buy to try type of thing, but it's It's fine. If you really like cream soda, maybe give it a shot, but it just is what it is. Nothing too crazy. Okay, well, now that we're done with your week, let's talk about my week. Let's talk about everything I did this week.
Pop off, queen.
I didn't do much. I went to work. That was really it. Not really a whole lot. I mean, I have some like exciting things that are upcoming. I booked a tattoo appointment with my good friend Mark. So that's exciting. That's gonna be in about 2 weeks, I think, or a week. A little over a week. It's not this upcoming Friday. It's not Friday the 13th. It's the following Friday, so the 20th. That week is going to be fucking insane because we also have AEW, and then I have a tattoo, and then we have a Posty concert. So that's going to be fucking wild. But I get paid on the day of the tattoo, so that is exciting for me personally. I have to get my car fixed on Friday, which isn't like crazy. I thought it was going to be a lot more than what they quoted me, honestly. So like I feel a little bit more relieved. I have to get my rear bumper support fixed because it's bad, it's rusting. And my car's been out of inspection since May because of it, and I just haven't had the money to get it done. So I set up that appointment. And I'm getting that fixed on Friday, and they told me it was going to be they said around $500, which isn't too bad personally, I don't think. They're going to have the car for most of the day, so I'm just going to go hang out with my dad the whole day. So that'll be fun. And then I just dropped a shit ton of money on Jack Perry's new merchandise that he released today. When you're hearing this, it'll still be up, because it's up for a week. It is limited pressing of a bomber jacket, which was the one that he wore at All Out when he faced Bryan Danielson. So they made that bomber jacket, which I literally said as we were watching All Out, Jack, I need that jacket. Jack, I need that jacket. Where can I buy that jacket? I need that fucking jacket. He released 2 different t-shirts with the same logo on it, the same design on it, that was on the back of the jacket. One is a black ringer tee with white rings and the prints in white. The other one is, I think, just a black t-shirt with the full color design on it. He released a keychain, he released an enamel pin, he released an air freshener, he released a bumper sticker, he released a hat. And I think that's everything. I bought everything but the t-shirts and the hat because I love him. The bomber jacket was the most expensive, honestly. But it's a jacket. I'm not expecting it to kind of be cheap. And I have a thing for jackets. I love a jacket. I love jackets. I love them so much. And I really fucking like the design. And the design was made by an independent artist. So, Jack really holding true with hiring independent artists. And the thing is, too, not to speculate about anything with Jack, but he released it on his own. He released it on his Scapegoat website. This isn't released through the AEW website. So this was solely him. So I find that a little interesting that he chose to do it by himself.
I think heels should just do that more often.
I mean, I get that. It's a whole collection. He released a whole fucking collection with this person's design on it, which is fucking awesome.
You want to be a babyface? Cool. The merch should be sold on that company's website because you are a company man.
Yeah.
You, the Elite should have their own website.
That'd be sick. Well, because here's the thing, right?
Why not?
I wonder if it was something where, because otherwise this would have just went through Pro Wrestling Tees. So I wonder if this was something where Jack wanted to pay the artist personally whatever he thought was worth. Because from what I hear, it is all hearsay. But what I hear is that people who have gotten designs bought from Pro Wrestling Tees do not get paid much. At all.
I believe it.
And
Colt Cabana, piece of shit.
So, now granted, with Pro Wrestling Tees hiring a bunch of artists, which AEW's merch has already started getting so much fucking better after they hired these artists. Thank fucking God. But now with Pro Wrestling Tees hiring all of these artists, and whatnot, I'm sure they're getting paid differently because now they're like, they might be contracted to certain things, or they might be like employees getting paid some sort of like base pay salary or whatever. But I don't believe this artist was one of them that got hired. So I'm wondering if he bought the design from the artist because he was like, I'm going to pay you better. And we're doing a lot with this. So like, that's really fucking cool. So yeah, that's exciting. I spent so much money. But it's fine. It's okay. It was worth it. Honestly. Am I gonna regret it after I get my car fixed? Probably. But when it all comes in, I'm no longer gonna regret it. So, if you are a Jack Perry scapegoat, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Pretty Boy Perry fan like I am,
A jack off,
jacking off to jacking off, then go on his website, check out the collection. It's all pre-order right now, and it's all available only for a week. The jackets, I believe they said, they're limited edition numbered, which is cool. And then everything else I think is just limited for a limited time. I don't know if the jackets will, like, because they're hand numbered, I assume they'll sell out to a degree. And then, like, if they're gone tomorrow, you can't get them. But the design's really nice. I really like it. It's a really fucking solid design. Go spend a bunch of money on him, like I did. Because he deserves it. And the artist also deserves it. I don't know if the artist gets a cut, but the artist deserves recognition.
Yes, art.
Oh, also speaking of art, which we'll get into the rest of wrestling this week. Just something I want to touch on really quick. There was another shirt that got dropped Friday. I believe the artist
And Joe Hendry?
No. Yes, but no. I believe the artist's name pronunciation is Kato. Spelled Kato. So I believe it's Kato, or it's not Kaito, but I think it's Kato. They designed this really cool Hangman Adam Page shirt with like a skeleton cowboy and like a skeleton horse or whatever. Really fucking awesome merch. Designed this a while ago, and it finally got picked up. I think because they were one of the artists that got hired by Pro Wrestling Tees. And that design got picked up and was a 1 hour tee, only on sale for 1 hour, printed in 1 hour, shipped in 1 hour. And that went up for sale Friday at noon and then never to be seen again. And that was record-breaking numbers, the best-selling 1 hour t-shirt, like, of all time, which is really fucking awesome. Like, that's the thing, right? Again, we've talked before on this podcast about how AI and AI-generated art is bullshit and it's stupid and nobody likes it. And a lot of people have been complaining about AEW's merch going downhill, being lazy, being terrible, like, you're a t-shirt company and you can't even fucking do that right anymore type of thing.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And it's because they got lazy with this, because they started using AI. The second they start picking up actual fucking artists and listening, like, because I'll give them it. They listened. It took a little bit, but they listened and they hired fucking artists. And now their merch department is already looking a shit ton better. They have a new top selling 1 hour tee of all time.
We don't need shirts that say Big Black than Jack.
Yeah, and
or
and
Britt Baker's fucking beaten up face.
I feel like personally, even it's only the pre-orders at the moment for Jack's merch has only been up for an hour, but I personally feel like that those pre-orders are gonna do fucking numbers, and it's all comes down to the artwork that's being put out there and the artwork that is being made by people, by legitimate wrestling fans who legitimately love this shit. So I'm just saying, it's really nice and refreshing to see.
And if you are one person that owns the Britt Baker shirt or the Big Black and Jack shirt,
if you own the Big Black and Jack shirt and you're white,
and you're white, fucking please, kindly fuck off and go get yourself checked out.
If you own the Big Black and Jack shirt and you are at least a black man or black woman or black they them, fine.
Just hook.
Fine, literally don't care.
But if you're not jacked, fuck you.
No, if that's the funny
fuck
thing.
you.
If you're short and like scrawny, that's hilarious.
Yes.
Like you could be one of the three things on either, like, aside from the, like, okay, you have to be black. You have to be black. I'm sorry. You have to be black. And that could be the only thing you are on the shirt. And then it's just funny otherwise. If you're all three, then it's iconic for you. But like,
what if you
could be black and jacked but short? That's hilarious.
What if you're like Ishii, bro?
Like, he's not black.
No, not Ishii, exactly, the Japanese wrestler fucking Ishii.
Oh, you mean like his build?
Built like a fucking potato Ishii.
That's fine. It works. It works. But don't be white wearing that shirt. Fucking weirdos.
Get yourself fucking checked out. Dumb fucks.
But anyway, with that all being said and my bank account being $200 less full, let's get into this fucking episode. So, we're gonna start on WWE Raw. Little couple two treat things.
Not much to talk about.
Two treat things that all happen in succession.
Raw was last week.
So, do you want me to just say this in one sentence? Because this is literally how this happened.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Phil Punk calls his next shot and he wants Gunther. And then, Drew McIntyre, the guy with the kilt and the sword, well, not the sword anymore.
Thank God.
He comes out and he does the unthinkable. He does something he's never done before. He attacked Punk. He attacked Mr. Phil Punk. Laid him out, shoe on the ground, Matt Jackson style everything. And then he sent shockwaves down the entire WWE universe.
He really
creating a
did.
WrestleMania moment outside of WrestleMania. The man has broken barriers and he's also broken bracelets because he broke CM Punk's bracelet.
Everyone, including me watching this, fucking gasped that this happened because everyone was like, "Oh no, the artist that made this. Oh no. Oh
the poor
no.
girl.
Like, oh no. Poor fucking girl, man."
However, it was pretty quickly proven and debunked it wasn't the same bracelet.
But she's playing along with it.
She's playing along with it. But for any of you who are worried out there who might not have seen what I saw, the original bracelet that was given to Punk had a translucent band in it. So like the string that it was made out of was like a clear translucent. The one that Drew broke was a black band. So it was a black piece of string that was in there. So clearly that's a different bracelet. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a different bracelet. And the fit was a little bit different too. Like it fit a little bit looser. So they made a fake one. It was a fake one. The real one is fine. But the girl's keeping it kayfabe. So the girl who made the bracelet had been found a little bit ago. Once the bracelet started making its way into, WWE's television of who actually made it. So she's been prevalent along within all of this. And, she made a post being like, since the bracelet is destroyed, I just want to thank like CM Punk and WWE for, making my little bracelet into a big storyline. And like, this has been a wild ride for the past couple months, yada, yada, yada. Drew called her out and like responded back to her. I don't remember what Drew said, but he said something about, like, fuck CM Punk, fuck the bracelet, yada, 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 whatever, calling her a crybaby or whatever it was. But he went back at her, and then she went back with the how long he held the world title for before Punk screwed him out of it, which is funny. So like, it's cool to see her interact with it and be involved in the story like a little bit, even if it's on the internet. But yeah, when Dylan told me that the bracelet broke, I was like, I swear to fucking God, if that was the real bracelet, I'm legitimately gonna be pissed. Like, I don't think Punk would have let the real bracelet actually get broken.
Yeah.
But if it was, I would have had some very different words for this podcast.
It was just one of those, like, holy fuck, man. I can't believe
they did it.
Yeah, it's like, holy shit.
They really did it. Those crazy sons of bitches did it.
That's some heat there, brother.
But yeah, interesting. I mean, obviously this feud isn't over with, and they're gonna go to Bad Blood, and that's
hell in a cell.
that's when it's gonna be done and over with. Yada yada yada. Is what it is. Let's move on.
I gotta plug in this controller. Terrible. We'll just do this really quick so I can get up.
Okay, well, let me pick up the mic stand really quick while we're doing this. Ghost is in the most inconvenient spot possible. Dylan is moving around, causing a scene. I'm readjusting my legs because I'm in pain.
I'm gonna try to find the match. Keep talking.
Dylan is laying down right now. I just want to explain this to you. That he is laying down, face down, ass up. And, like, I'm not talking, like, he's on his stomach laying down. Like, he is primed and ready. Like, ready to go. HOTTOGO. You can take him hot to go.
Yeah.
His ass is prepared.
I'm just trying to find wrestling.
And it is honestly jarring.
Yeah?
Yes.
Keep fucking talking.
I'm filling in the people. But fine. All right. Well, while Dylan's getting prepped and ready, we'll move on a little bit into AEW Dynamite, which we're starting with the Daniel Garcia and MJF promo, where Danny comes out to the ring and he's just like, MJF, you little bitch, I'm going to put you in the hospital. Where are you? And MJF is up in the crowd in, like, one of the skyboxes, and he's like, hey, Danny, fuck you, and I fucked your mom. Well, I mean, he just kind of called his mom like a slut or whatever. And then they were kind of like, I'm going to kill you. No, I'm going to kill you. And then Danny runs out into the crowd and tries to go after MJF, but then security's there. Oh no, not security. They're stopping the fight from happening. Why would they do that? This is a wrestling show, god damn it. And then Daniel Garcia, of course, gets free from security and runs up to MJF, and then MJF just, like, slams, I don't know if it was the bottle of wine on him or if it was the glass or what it was, but he, like, smashes it in his face. And then Danny's bleeding and he's out, and MJF gives him a little kiss on the forehead because he loves him.
This was really good segment.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a wild segment.
A really good go home segment. Very interesting to see what happens at All In, which we already know what happens at All In, but the people maybe listening don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or All Out.
All Out.
All Out, not
Yeah.
All In. There's too many goddamn pay-per-views.
Stop being such a negative Nancy.
I hate the wrestling.
But anyway, yeah, no, and honestly, like, leading, which we'll talk about later, but leading into the match at All Out, which was a really fucking good match, this was a really solid promo. I genuinely, like, looked at Dylan, because this opened the show, and I was like, we are 5 minutes in. Is that Kenny Omega?
That's Kenny Omega.
Oh, that's Tyler Black, Kenny Omega, and Bryan Danielson
Yes.
in Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Yes.
That is Tyler Black.
And if you don't know who Tyler Black is, take some guesses in the comments below. Because I know who he is.
Yes.
I know who he is. But
It's Kenny Omega.
it's Kenny Omega. Yeah, there's actually 2 Kenny Omegas in this ring. Man, I can't believe that they got his DDT shit.
Crazy. His little fucking curly hair.
Doug, I don't mean to be this guy right now, but his trunks were really something at the time.
They were something.
Like, there is a very clear shelving situation happening.
It's because he's in the ring with Bryan Danielson.
Ah, yeah, that's so true. That's so true. God, he was so... I mean, I don't know. He's not old. He's 40, but, like... God, he was such a baby. So young.
The little young guy.
No, seriously. What year was this?
This has to be like... 08? No.
No, this is way earlier than 08.
No. We're gonna figure it out right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Because I don't think he looked like that in 08.
No, 2008.
Is this really 2008?
From Ring of Honor, Bound by Hate, 2008. Yep.
Jesus Christ. Well, good for Kenny Omega for consistently looking that young.
Crazy.
But anyway, moving on into Mox is speaking in riddles.
Yes.
Which we didn't really get an answer to it all out, but we got more of like an insight as something of which is going on.
But he's just speaking in riddles, bro. This is so weird.
I'm here for it.
Why? I mean, I am too. Why is Marina Schaefer there, though?
Marina Shafir.
Yeah, whatever her name is.
I mean, she looks great.
You don't know me.
She looks great, and I mean, she hasn't been like wrestling, but at least when she's hitting moves on people and like beating people up, it actually looks like she's beating them up. That was my biggest issue with her as a wrestler, is I felt like she moved really slow and she looked too safe. Like, not that, like, you know, being safe is a bad thing, but it looked like she wasn't trying to hurt her opponent in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't feel believable. So, now she's looking a lot better, so I'm kind of hoping for the best with this. But yeah, Mox just kind of, he came out, or he was in the back with Marina Shafir. They're beating up security guards. They walk past the Elite. Mox locks eyes with Jack.
And they kissed.
And he goes, I don't care what they say, you're a sweet kid. So gives Jack and the Elite more so Jack than the Bucks, because the Bucks were with, I think Okada might have been there too, but I know the Bucks were.
No, Okada wasn't there.
Okada wasn't there?
No, he was busy doing other Okada things.
So gives Jack and a little bit of the Bucks, like, you know, like a sentiment of just like, you know, we're cool here, which is interesting. And then, you know, walks out to the ring, calls out Darby, says, Darby, where are you? Darby, where are you? I just want to talk. You know where to find me, whatever. And then leaves. So, interesting, weird, but interesting nonetheless. Still excited to see where this whole goes. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about what happened at All Out. Because, again, we didn't really get closure as to what's going on, but we got more of a directional of where this is going. And then, you know, we didn't start the fire, but Hangman did.
We didn't start the fire. The world is turning and
Swerve's house is burning.
We didn't start the fire. Yeah, Hangman started a fire.
Hangman set Swerve's childhood home on fire.
It wasn't his real house.
Did you know that houses are three-dimensional
It
fixtures?
wasn't his real house.
Four-dimensional, three-dimensional,
Look
whatever.
at this picture in this picture. It wasn't his real house.
It was the side of his house.
It wasn't his real house.
Nonetheless, the house also didn't actually catch on fire. It was effects.
People will believe anything, damn it.
But nonetheless, Hangman, being the poetic bastard he is, did a nice little callback to when Swerve broke into Hangman's house. And Hangman broke into Swerve's childhood home.
Oh, I felt good.
Walked around.
You ever crack your neck and you feel the blood
Nope. Walked around.
flow?
Talked some shit about Swerve dumping gasoline everywhere. Came outside. Sat down on a chair. Had a glass full of alcohol, which I presume was whiskey, but, you know, that's just, I don't really know if it was or not, but he had a glass full of alcohol.
It was just water.
Probably water. He lit a match, and he set the house ablaze. And the really cool thing about this is not only the obvious throwback of, I'm gonna do to you what you did to me, but the first line in Hangman's promo was, whose house? And then the last line was Swerve's house. Really cool. Really cool shit.
Crazy.
What do you think about this? Because you fell asleep, so you had to rewatch this or just catch up on this.
Yes. Yeah, burning houses and stuff. Why not? Fuck it.
Give me some, like, legitimate insight.
Burning houses. Arson.
Are you mad?
How in kayfabe, how is Hangman not arrested for arson?
Dog, how is he not arrested for his actions at All Out? Which we'll get into.
How is he not arrested for arson?
I love a criminally charged man, frankly.
This man committed arson on national television. He should be arrested.
The police in wrestling universe don't care about shit like this.
He should be charged for breaking and entering, trespassing, and arson. And public intoxication. Because he was drinking in the public. Unbelievable. The fucking police force of... Where the fuck does Swerve live? Seattle?
Seattle, I think.
This man went up to Seattle, Washington.
You're getting a phone call.
This man is from Seattle, Washington. I don't know actually if he is or if that's just kayfabe or whatever the fuck. But anyway.
No, I think so because him and Darby were together on Indy.
Yeah,
on
that's
Indies.
true. That's true. I was just trying to cover my ass. I'm not.
And he's a Seahawks fan.
I'm not trying to dox Swerve.
That's where he's billed from.
I'm just trying not to dox him. Anyway, Hangman should be charged with arson.
Dylan.
What?
Look at your son.
Dee. You should be charged with arson.
So do you think that this was, unrealistic and unbelievable?
Yes, because he didn't get charged with arson.
So do you think that this was a stupid thing for them to...
Yes, because he didn't get charged with arson.
Legitimately?
No, I mean, it's whatever. It wasn't fucking bad. It's realistic enough. I mean, motherfucker set fucking house on fire. I mean, yeah, it's fucking wrestling. I'm joking here, but he should be charged with arson, but that's like real life thing. It's fucking wrestling. It brings some realism into the feud of that these fucks are gonna kill each other, and they did. So yeah, sure. I don't mind it. He should be charged with arson.
Okay.
I didn't hate it. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Moving on. I can't really read what you have. We're going on to Smackdown quick.
Oh, that's crazy.
What? No way!
That's crazy.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
Like, just now?
Oh.
I mean, not to, like, dox us or anything like that. I'm not gonna say, like, specifics, but we just got a text message about there being a shooting at a movie theater that's literally down the street from us.
Yeah. Well,
what the fuck?
This is why guns should be banned. I'm not saying it.
Yeah, I would say the police are not going to be posting about it.
Yeah.
They never do. Cool, awesome, incredible, amazing.
I didn't even hear anything.
That's why I'm wondering if it was if it happened no, because when we drove by, there was nothing going on there.
Yeah.
We literally just drove by it like 20 minutes, an hour ago.
Yeah, it was like an hour ago.
Like an hour ago.
Yeah, it was an hour ago.
So it had to have just happened.
Because we've been going for 47 minutes. It was like an hour ago.
I don't hear any cops.
Neither do I.
That's wild. Anyway, let's move on to Smackdown, which was just the fact of that WWE on Fox is officially over, and it's time to start SmackDown on USA, and we'll be seeing Cody versus Solo for the WWE title in a steel cage match on free TV.
Now, this was cool. You weren't... I was watching football. I tuned in to SmackDown at this time because it was Cody. I wanted to see what was going to happen. The Bloodline comes out. I couldn't really make out what they were talking about, but they're building up to this match. But at one point, Cody goes, I'm not facing you. I don't want to face you, Solo, or whatever. Jacob Fatu. Please stand up. And, like, he got up on the ring apron, and Solo was, like, looking at him like, yo, what the fuck? And then Jacob Fatu got down. So they were teasing, like, Jacob Fatu is, like, important.
So here's the thing, right? That actually gives a little bit more context for me because I didn't see this. I just obviously heard about it, about what was going on. I am not against big matches being on free television. I never have been, I never will be. The only thing I was slightly confused about with this is I was under the assumption that Cody and Solo was going to happen at like Bad Blood. So when they're like, oh yeah, steel cage match, big match happening on free TV, I'm kind of like, okay, cool, because obviously it's gonna bring viewers in to like the new network and whatnot.
Even though they just had them on Raw.
Yeah,
but
but
and Raw's still there.
Yeah, but you know, you know that's like the MO for it.
Yeah.
But my thing was like, well, I thought that was going to be going on at Bad Blood, so now we're doing a steel cage match on TV, which is, you know, kind of like big match thing going on. So what the fuck are we going to do for Bad Blood? But maybe it'll be Cody and Jacob.
That'd be nice.
Like that maybe that's where they're going with it. They're teasing Jacob.
And Jacob Fatu should win.
I don't know about that. But maybe they're teasing Jacob Fatu and Cody, and they're going to build that for Bad Blood. Which is kind of also an interesting way to look at it, though, because, like, no disrespect to Jacob Fatu, but obviously Solo's supposed to be, like, the guy that's the main man of the bloodline right now. And they're like, okay, well, Solo, your match could be on, like, free TV, but Jacob, you're doing a one-on-one match on pay-per-view. But you're, like, the side guy. Like, you're one of the side guys. But you're going to be in, like, the main event or whatever for Bad Blood. Like, that's really weird. Not like in a bad way, but it kind of feels like a little backwards. Like, it normally would be like, oh, you have to go through my 7 evil exes to get to me.
MJF's feud.
Yeah, MJF's feud. Like, that's normally what it is.
Oh, Nick Cage was one of his evil exes? Oh.
Well, honestly, I mean, MJF's feud with Jericho about that was very realistically meta for what wrestling writing has kind of been, especially, like, I mean, not just WWE, because obviously AEW clearly does it as well, but, like, what wrestling storytelling has been of, oh, you want to go against this guy and this faction, this big guy? No, you need his friends. You need to go through his friends first. And that's kind of what MJF did in that feud, was you have 5 people you need to go through, but he just broke it down and made it extremely meta. Instead of just, like, the obvious, he kind of did a whole thing about it, which was really clever. And was really fun. But this just feels a little bit backwards. Unless we're going to get Solo and Cody again at Bad Blood. But I don't know how you're going to go from a steel cage match to something else. Knowing WWE, they're going to go from a steel cage match to just a regular one-on-one match.
To a Texas death match.
That would be cool. That'd be cool.
They won't do it in WWE.
Okay. So, moving on from that, we're going to start talking about All Out. I missed, I think, everything on this pre-show.
And I didn't watch a single fucking thing about it. I just had it on for background noise.
So, we're going to skip through actual insight about the pre-show, but I'll at least say the results. The pre-show is for free on YouTube. You can go find it. But
I wasn't wasting my time with it. Football was on.
I'll just reiterate. The Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster with Daddy Ass defeated the Iron Savages. Bronson and Boulder with Jack Jameson.
Love that the Acclaimed were in a tag team title match on the biggest pay-per-view of the year, and 2 weeks later they're on the pre-show.
They don't have a feud yet. Anyway, Hologram, Sammy Guevara, and Dustin Rhodes defeated the Premier Athletes, Tony Nese, Ari Daivari, and Josh Woods.
Hologram's cool.
The Bang Bang Gang, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, and Juice Robinson defeated the Dark Order, Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver. And the Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Roderick Strong defeated the Beast Mordos and Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. And Action Andretti and Top Flight, Dante Martin and Darius Martin.
That's too many fucking people.
3-way trios match.
Too many fucking people.
Okay. Moving on into the actual pay-per-view. We started off with MJF and Danny Garcia. MJF defeating Danny Garcia by pinfall in a singles match. 23 minutes and 40 seconds. Was this a nut shot?
Yeah.
Nut shot, like roll up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
WWE finish.
Yeah.
But they were dropping fuckers on each other's necks.
And they were murdering each other.
They killed each other. MJF wins, like I said he would. And then Daniel Garcia got the final last laugh. Yeah,
so Danny, after the match happened, beat the shit out of MJF. And basically, for context, MJF kind of needed to be written off because he's going to be going to film a movie.
Yeah, filming a movie.
So he needed to be written off for a little while. Anyway. But no, this match was really good. It was kind of everything I expected from them. It was definitely more of like a wrestler's wrestling match. I mean, they were dropping each other on their necks and like beating each other up and whatnot.
Drop you on your
But a lot of it was just very fundamental wrestling, which was really cool. And I mean, obviously, like, hi, Bloody Kenny. Jesus Christ. Obviously, like, you know, both of them are very good on the mat wrestlers. I mean, Danny had a whole fucking storyline about, like, are you a sports entertainer or are you a professional wrestler?
I can't wait for him to be a sports entertainer.
And MJF has consistently shown being very versatile, but also just being one of the best, like, on the mats. So I, like, this within itself was already given to be, like, a banger of a fucking match. And it was. And I'm happy with how the outcome turned out. Personally.
Yes.
Moving on. We're going to talk about the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, versus the Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta in a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships at 15 minutes and 45 seconds, with the Young Bucks coming out on top, of course.
Yeah.
Again, it was a fine match. It's a good match.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, nothing over the top. Nothing really furthering the Bucks anyway. Nothing really furthering the Blackpool Combat Club with the Bucks just yet. Which we'll get into in a little bit. I have theories. I have a couple theories about maybe something possibly going on later on. But as of right now, they beat them. That's really that. We don't have any other direction that we're going in. Again, the match was fine. The match was a good match. It was a Young Bucks match. It was a Blackpool Combat Club match. They beat the shit out of each other. Matt got a black eye. It was fine. All fun and dandy.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the next match on the card, which was Will Ospreay versus Pac in a singles match. The AEW International Championship at 20 minutes and 20 seconds.
This match was absolute dog shit. No, I'm kidding. No, it was a really good fucking match.
This match was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, this match was fucking ridiculous.
I mean, I expected it to be.
This was ridiculous.
I expected it to be, but this match just went in fucking insane. Like, Will Ospreay beat Pac. I don't know if I said that or not. So Will Ospreay is still the champion. But, like,
Dave Meltzer's gonna give this match, like, 7 fucking stars.
These fucks really just went, alright, let's do video game stuff. And I love that.
Yeah, literally, that's all it was.
I love that. It was flippy, floppy, over the top, bullshit, indie fucking nonsense. And that's everything I could ever want out of a match.
I thought they were gonna die a few times.
Yeah. Oh my god, especially Ospreay. Jesus Christ, Ospreay's neck.
Yeah,
dude.
I thought people were gonna get paralyzed or some shit.
Oh my god, but again, I didn't expect anything less from either of them, at all. If anything, I fully expected them to put their whole pussy into this fucking match, and that's exactly what they did.
It's not what they did.
It's exactly what they did.
They put their whole pussy.
Their whole pussies into it.
Damn.
Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of, like, really good matches that were on this card, obviously. But I feel like that this is, like, a must-see match. Honest.
And how do you follow that up, Blissy?
Somehow, even more insane. Even more insane. You got Chris Statlander with Stokely Hathaway paying homage to New Jack. And Willow Nightingale in a Chicago street fight that went 15 minutes exactly.
These girls beat the fuck out of each
Willow
other.
Nightingale pulled out light tubes.
There was light tubes. Chris Statlander did a split on thumbtacks.
She pulled out a barbed wire baseball bat. They did a spear off the ramp through a table.
Through the guardrail.
A pounce through the guardrail.
Yeah, there was so... This match was fucking insane.
Absolutely. Like, these girls fucking killed each other. And honestly, that's what I want to see. Like, because here's the thing, right?
2 pay-per-views in a row for the girls having, like, the best match on the card. I'm just saying. This was a very good fucking match. Here's
the thing, like, people will always be like, oh, women shouldn't be beaten up and bleeding and because they're women. And it's like, no, let women beat the shit out of each other. That's what they want to do. They are wrestlers for a fucking reason. They got into an industry where the whole shtick is to beat up your opponent, to beat up people, to fucking be insane.
Yes.
Like, and this just, any time any women are in a street fight like this, it just proves that they can and will and deserve to, not only deserve to have the same type of spotlight as the men do in certain matches like this, but also that they have the ability to. They're not going to shy away from it. I mean, I'm sure some people will, and I mean, that also goes to the men, though, too. There's men that don't want to do hardcore matches or death matches or anything like that, and that's fine. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. No one's forcing you to, but if it's something you want to do, you should be given that time of day, and you should be given the opportunity to, because you really could be making a statement and do something fucking incredible. I mean,
unless you're Chaos the Clown.
Frankly, women's wrestling wouldn't be where it's at today without people like Trish and Lita, and while no, their main event match was not a hardcore match or anything, at the time, that was still incredibly breaking bounds and boundaries. Like, that was a history-making match. So to continuously, like, give women this spotlight to do things that are against the status quo is history-making.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could be talking about this 10 years from now, being like, this might sound a little bit, like, excessive, but I firmly believe it to be true that in 10 years from now, we could be talking back about this match and saying, yeah, after the Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale Chicago Street Fight at All Out 2024, women's hardcore wrestling really did change for the better, and it really made a statement piece and allowed a lot more people to be open to this idea and more matches to come out of like this, and really gave them a foundation. Granted, there's women's wrestlers out there doing hardcore matches, doing death matches, like, on the daily. There's women in intergender matches on GCW doing death matches.
I gotta pee. Keep talking.
Okay. There's women, like, on GCW doing intergender death matches, like, every other day of the week. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's not like this concept is new. It's not like this isn't something that hasn't been done before, and this isn't something that hasn't been consistent, especially in today's wrestling. But when it's put on a promotion as large as, like, AEW standard is, being what the second largest professional wrestling company in current day, so second to WWE, one of the top places to be going right now, and they're willing to put this out there, and they're willing to showcase this and saying, like, we're cool with this, we're down with this, you want to do this, we'll absolutely let you do this, is important. It's important to women's wrestling. It's important to furthering the fact that women deserve to be treated as well as the men are treated, and deserve to be given the same opportunities that the men are given, because they're not shying away from it. This isn't some hardcore match or death match where they're doing, like, weak shots at each other, where it's like, oh, I have a chair and I'm gonna hit you in the head with this chair, but you're very clearly gonna get your hands up, and I'm gonna only swing it, like, ever so slightly hard, so, like, even if it does hit you in the head, it doesn't really hurt that bad. Like, no, it's they're not shying away from it. They're putting their full effort into it. So, and I mean, again, that's not necessarily just a woman thing. I mean, men can do the same thing as well, of, very clearly not wanting to put their entire body into a move in fear of hurting their opponent. I mean, trust me, I've seen it firsthand of people not being able to break light tubes on the first swing. So, not just a woman thing. What I'm saying is,
I've seen people use Spirit Halloween fucking weapons.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that they're giving it their all. They're intentionally going out there and giving it their all, and that's fucking important.
Yes.
And this was a fucking phenomenal match.
Women.
Absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Women.
And again, I don't know if I said it. I've been yapping. I don't know if I've said it, but Chris beat Willow by submission. She choked her out with the chain. The chain that started this whole thing. So it seems like a very fitting end. Their feud has been going on for a while. I'm not necessarily sick of this feud. I could watch them wrestle each other every single fucking week. I don't care. But it does seem like this is now the end of it. I'm not quite sure what else they can do from here. But who knows? They could just give them a straight up death match.
Exploding barbed wire death match.
I would be happy to see Willow and Chris in one more match and have it be a Texas death match. Frankly.
That would be crazy, girl.
That would be really cool.
That would be crazy, girl.
That would be really cool. Did you talk at all about this match, or was I just yapping?
It was a good match.
Do you have anything else to add into this?
I said this is like the second pay-per-view in a row that the women's match was like the best match on the show.
Okay.
And then I applaud them.
Good.
Yes.
All right.
Women. Chris Statlander for champion.
Yeah. Honest.
TBS champion. Again. Because
Again.
Mariah May can keep the women's title.
Moving on. We had the match of Kazuchika Okada, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Konosuke Takeshita in a 4-way match for the AEW Continental Championship, also going exactly 15 minutes.
So I'm not going to lie. I didn't really watch this match.
I watched this match.
I was watching football around this time.
It was a good match. It wasn't bad. I mean, this is kind of like an all-star 4-way match, really.
I was watching Deion Sanders coach complete utter garbage.
Because we have Kazuchika Okada, who's a champion, and the Rainmaker, the guy.
Cody.
Shut up. We had Mark Briscoe, who is legendary tag team,
And Pockets.
and the Ring of Honor World Champion. We have Orange Cassidy, who was the longest international champion, if I'm not mistaken.
All Atlantic.
It was All Atlantic at the time.
Yes.
It was the All Atlantic Championship. That's right.
Pockets.
Stop. We have Orange Cassidy, who's also been kind of an ace in AEW, and had the most title defenses also with the All Atlantic Championship. And then is also just a fan favorite, widely loved. And then we have Konosuke Takeshita, who just came back from the G1 Climax, and has been a very quickly rising star in AEW. Again, another fan favorite that people love to see. And honestly, I am surprised about the outcome of this match because Kazuchika Okada retained, but he pinned Orange Cassidy.
Good.
And I really thought that if anyone was taking the pin, no disrespect, it was going to be Mark Briscoe.
Nope. He doesn't do the job, brother.
Orange Cassidy took the pin, which now just solidifies to me that Chaos is officially done. They're no longer friends from Chaos.
Bitch.
I
swear I'm okay.
But yeah, no, it was a fine match. It was a fun match, and honestly, like, it was pretty obvious Okada was gonna win this. But it did at least for me keep me on my toes a little bit of just like there was a couple good close near falls. So I was like, all right. Oh. Moving on. We have Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida in a singles match for the AEW TBS Championship with Camille banned from ringside.
I watched
at 16 minutes and 30 seconds.
I watched the first 5 minutes of this and went back to Deion Sanders because
it was not a bad match. This was not a bad match. This was way better than Mercedes and Britt. Way better than Mercedes and Britt.
I just can't watch Mercedes.
Shida and Mercedes have a lot more in-ring chemistry. This still definitely wasn't Mercedes' best match, by far. I mean, I've seen her do a lot better. But this wasn't a bad match by any means. This was a solid match. I feel like the 16 minutes is...
These were two, like, if I had to pick out of all the matches on this card, even the Young Bucks match, if I had to pick two matches to take off this card, it is the Fatal 4-Way match and this fucking match. We didn't need this on the card. We just saw this match on TV weeks ago.
Yeah, but it's fine. Put Sheet on the card.
Ruined the flow of the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view had a nice flow. Like, this pay-per-view had a chance to be really good, way better than All Out last year. It's just 3 matches, including the Young Bucks match in this, were like, eh. Well, there was like 12 matches total.
I don't think the Young Bucks match needed to happen.
Yeah, it didn't really.
I know that's kind of crazy coming from me.
Hey, first AEW pay-per-view without Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah, round of applause for that. Or as Matt Pat would say, clap and a half. No, that's not a clap and a half. That's no. Hold this mic stand.
Hello.
This is a clap and a half.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
It's not a clap and a half.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
So I know you
from
can't.
From London and Paris and Tokyo.
Stop. So I know you can't see me, but a clap and a half is when you do like one full clap And then
I
you go
can't
back.
see you?
No, the people that
Call
are
me
on
fucking
the
blind?
people that are on the pod that are listening to this.
Thank God.
You do one full clap and then you go back in for a second, but you stop midway. That's a clap and a half. No, look at me do it. Yeah, that's a clap and a half. Clap and a half.
It's just
So the story of that comes from, I guess,
I hate it here.
oh god, I don't remember the exact story, but it was something along the lines of Matt Pat when he was in elementary school. There was like an essay writing contest where like whoever wrote the best essay or something got a cool prize. And he, being the overachiever he is, wrote this killer essay for like a 4th grader and was just like, yeah, I'm going to get this super cool prize. Won the contest and his prize was a clap and a half.
A clap and a half.
And he was like, that, what the fuck, in his like 4th grade brain. But he didn't say that because Matt Pat doesn't like to curse. So he said like, what in the Five Nights at Freddy's is that? And yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. So okay, yeah. So basically, I
Believe in Joe Hendry?
don't think that this match was bad by any means. But I do agree that I don't think the Young Bucks need a match on this pay-per-view. I know they don't ever really miss papes. I don't think they ever have missed a pape. They might have missed one.
We just had a fucking pay-per-view 2 weeks ago. Put people that weren't on the pay-per-view for this pay-per-view. Have a separate build.
Were Claudio and Yuta on the pay-per-view last year? Or not last year, last week?
No.
So there, they were on the pay-per-view now.
I'm just saying.
But they could have been defending their no, they couldn't because Pac had a match.
Why is Pac Trios champions with them?
We'll get into that. Maybe.
Can we get into that without talking about this fucking match?
I'm just saying.
Fuck Mercedes Moné.
Moving on to the technical main event.
This was the co-main event.
It is the technical main event.
No.
Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry in a singles match for the AEW World Championship. 27 minutes and 35 seconds.
It took them 27 minutes for them to be like, yep, this is what was going to happen to begin with.
Yeah, no shit, but this was a fucking good match.
It's what matters after the match.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We're talking about the match first.
No,
Jack
it was a pretty good.
Perry bumped his ass off in this match.
Jack Perry bumped his ass off. There was some cool spots.
Sorry, I thought I tightened this a little more, but I accidentally
Bryan Danielson beat him.
Jack Perry, a lot of people have been singing praises for his sell of the Busaiko knee.
I was gonna say, he fucking
he launched himself,
he
dude.
flipped inside out.
He flipped
died,
around.
everything.
Insane. Fucking sane. Honestly, again, not to keep a bias, but really, really, really put some fucking respect on his name because this match was great. They were technical with each other. They were beating the fucking piss out of each other. They were really doing some good little storytelling, increments in there of what the match was about, of Jack being shadow banned from AEW, and basically how Bryan Danielson always talks about helping the young guys and how he could have helped him, but he didn't want to help him. He chose not to help him, even though he kind of really technically did because he was the one who fired Punk, but I digress on that point. But how he was supposed to be there to help him, how he should have been there to help him, and he chose not to, and how he's a liar, and he's a fraud, and he's a fucking fake, and how he pinned him, and he's really not, that great, he could take his title off of him. It was a very, very, easy to read story. But even going through it, they were still given the, storylines, not, Jack, screaming in his face of, why didn't you help me? You didn't fucking help me. Him trying to just slap around Bryan Danielson, and Danielson being like, all right, kid, look, you fucked up big time.
Listen here, motherfucker.
But the thing is, too, that I appreciate to see, when Jack was slapping Danielson, you can see Danielson, very much so, getting all right, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, kid.
He liked it.
Jack wasn't backing down.
He liked it.
Jack wasn't backing down. He didn't, cower away. Sure, Danielson got him into a corner, but as Danielson was getting him into the corner, Jack was still slapping him. Jack didn't give two single solitary fucks, and I love seeing that out of his character development. I really like seeing that because especially, I don't know if I would necessarily classify Perry as a chicken shit heel. Because he's kind of just a nuisance of a heel, right? But when he first turned heel against Hook, when he was the FTW champion, he was a chicken shit heel. He was backing down. He was running away. He was a little cowardice fucking kid. Now,
I'd run away from Hook.
I mean, that's fair. He ran away from Hook. Would you also run away from Bryan Danielson?
No, I'd hug him.
What I'm saying is, like, it also shows growth of Jack and how Jack has changed. All in all, really good match. After the match was over, Jack Perry, sacrificed himself to the American Dragon. And Danielson's like, the final countdown, do-do-do-do, and he's, like, celebrating. And then the do-do-do-dos weren't do-do-do-doing anymore because it was... I can't do Christian Cage's theme song, but the Father of the Year came out. Actually, no, Luchasaurus came out.
Yeah.
Luchasaurus came out. Jack Perry's still in the ring. Luchasaurus is out here.
Whoa!
They stare each other down. So Luchasaurus comes in. I think he knocked down. He knocked down Danielson. Perry's getting up in the corner. Luchasaurus looks over. Jack looks over. They lock eyes. And then the Evanescence song starts playing, and then the Father of the Year is coming out. While Jack Perry's still in the ring. And Jack Perry at this point is, by the time, Christian gets down to the ring.
Transported.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Jack Perry said, got a blast, and then left.
Bro pulled an Undertaker and just gone. Like, he disappeared.
Out.
Where did he go to?
He just left. He literally disappeared into space-time. And Christian's coming down with, like, the contract saying he gets a title shot at any given point that he wants. And he's coming down with Mama Wayne and Nick Wayne. And as he gets down to the end of the ramp, Jon Moxley's there. That's actually what it was. Jack Perry transformed into Jon Moxley because I did not see Jon Moxley show up. He just also appeared.
Bro, he spawned.
He spawned.
It was literally like you died in GTA. And here you are.
Reappear.
Yeah.
Like you're coming out of the hospital.
Yeah.
You're coming out of the hospital.
Jon Moxley came out of the hospital.
That's what it is. Like, he just appeared. So, like Jack Perry despawned and Jon Moxley spawned. And Christian's like, you silly man. I'm not scared of you. I have a mother and a son.
And a dinosaur.
Dude. And then Claudio and Yuta and Pac show up.
Yuta was like, I want to see the dinosaur.
Yuta's like, I'm here for the dinosaur. I'm so excited. This is the best day ever. I can't believe my dad's brought me to see a dinosaur.
And Claudio and Jon Moxley they're matching, bro. They look like Mr. Clean.
They're matching.
They're bald with fucking white. They have white shirts on.
Pac is there because he's, like a new member apparently. And Yuta is just like, there's absolutely nothing in this world that could possibly go wrong at this moment because my dad's and my new adopted uncle brought me to see a dinosaur. This is so cool. I have the best family. I love my family and my family loves each other. And that is how it's going to be forever. Nothing will ever happen. They get into the ring. Claudio comes up to Danielson. I think maybe Mox went up to Danielson first and gave him a hug or whatever. Claudio gives Danielson a hug. They're all celebrating. He beat Jack Perry.
Blackpool Combat Club's okay.
Blackpool Combat Club is like, oh, yay. Celebration as Blackpool Combat Club normally does.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
And
we are family. My brothers and sisters and me.
And Danielson gets his hand raised by everyone. And, everyone's all happy and excited.
And we live happily ever after.
And then Claudio just, knocks the shit out of Danielson.
He gives him a European uppercut.
Gives him an uppercut.
European.
European uppercut.
There you go.
Danielson falls to his buttocks.
Bro, he looked like he shit himself.
Fell to his buttocks. Bamboozled. Bamboozled.
He was like, what just happened?
The man looks up at his former friends, his former fathers.
This was actually really cool, too. So, there's a video going around when this happens. And you can see Mox, he nods at Claudio.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pac is hugging Yuta at this point. Like, they're celebrating. Pac hugs Yuta. And then he goes from hugging Yuta to restraining him within a second.
Yep, and Danielson's knocked down. Yuta is crying because he just wanted to see the dinosaur, and now
his
he's
family's
witnessing
fighting.
divorce. He is witnessing a divorce firsthand. Pac is holding him up against the ropes. Yuta is losing his shit. He's crying. He's screaming. He's reaching for Danielson. He does not want anybody else. He wants his father, Bryan Danielson. He wants his dad. They beat the shit out of Danielson, and then Mox is like, I am going to really drive the nail in the coffin with this, and I am going to make the vegan man suffocate on plastic. So he pulls out a plastic bag, and he says, hey man, remember your like eco-friendly belt?
Oh no.
Get a load of this shit, bitch. Not biodegradable. Fucking suck it, bitch. And then suffocates him with a plastic bag in front of his son, Yuta, who is still crying and is still reaching. And
In
is still big.
kayfabe, John Moxley should be arrested for fucking attempted murder.
Yeah, there was an attempted murder. So, Blackpool Combat Club is broken up. I thought that Pac was the stand-in. Moxley, no, I've been wrong this whole time. Pac is the stand-in Danielson. Which is insane.
This is unbelievable.
Insane. Also very interesting. Interesting storytelling going back to how Blackpool Combat Club was formed. When Mox and Danielson were at each other's throats. They were going back and forth with each other.
Yeah, they were fucking.
They hated each other. They had to wrestle. They had to, be manly men, and they could not get along.
There's only one way to fucking solve this all up.
We need William Regal again.
Exactly.
And then William Regal comes out, and he makes them handshake, and then Blackpool Combat Club is formed.
If you were seeing this, I am dead.
Yeah, literally. Literally. Yeah, shouldn't MJF be in jail?
MJF should be in jail, too, for murder.
The AEW police don't exist. Lawless land of AEW.
There's so much murder happening.
But basically, Danielson has been booted out of the faction that he has formed essentially by the man who had co-formed it with him. Because he tried to murder him. So this is an interesting storyline that we're going to go back around to. I have some interesting theories about
I need gum.
Mox. Oh my god. What is the matter?
He said no. Can you move? I need to get up to get go. He huffed at me.
He's interrupting the podcast.
He's not letting me get up.
He's staring at you because he knows you're going to move. What are you trying to get?
Gum from my bag.
Well, you could deal with it because you don't need to be during the fucking podcast.
He's trying to attack me. Hey, can you move? Hey. Ghost.
Oh. Dude, stop bothering him. Leave him alone. Get your gum later.
Why do you do this? Okay.
Why are you twitching, Ghost? Why are you twitching?
This podcast is broken.
Anyway, so I have some interesting theories. I think Mox is trying to recruit Darby.
Kenny's cat?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Kenny Omega's cat for Blackpool Combat Club, Darby Omega.
No way.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's because he's out of college.
Yeah.
You think Dobby's taking care of Kenny?
Oh god, yeah, of course.
And Coda?
Yeah. I think Mox is trying to recruit Darby.
Dobby?
I really almost said it again. I think he's trying to recruit Darby, maybe? I don't know. It's very interesting because Mox giving the rub to Jack after Jack had just had that match with Darby at All In. And then immediately after that, when Mox shows back up,
Thanks, guys.
and he's like, Darby, I'm looking for you. Darby, I'm looking for you. So, I don't know if this has anything to do with the Elite, but it does kind of maybe seem like that Mox is trying to get Darby to be the one to take the belt off of Danielson, which feels like it's going to be at Wrestle Dream.
No, I thought it was Grand Slam. He gets the title shot.
Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Yes. My bad. Grand Slam. Well, no, because then that's way too soon. That's way too soon for Danielson to lose the belt.
I don't fucking know what the fuck they're doing, my guy.
I think Darby's going to be the one that's supposed to take the belt off of Danielson. So, thanks, Dylan. So
Thanks,
we'll see.
guys.
We'll see. Oh, apparently there. Oh, whoops. There was an email.
Oh,
as to
yeah.
How
Oh, yeah.
she knew about the shoot.
Yeah, she texted me that.
Anyway, do you have anything else to say about this match before we get into the true main event?
I'm interested to see where this goes. The plastic bag wasn't too far.
No. Yeah, people saying it was.
Terry Funk
Shut up.
and Ric Flair have done it. And, I mean, I understand where people are saying it was done, it's too far. Okay. Ric Flair and Terry Funk doing that back in the day, yes, but it's happened in wrestling already. Whatever. Bryan Danielson just needed the seizure cell again. He didn't do it in the match. So,
Yeah, if Bryan Danielson isn't almost dying from something in his matches,
Yes.
it's not Bryan Danielson.
So he was like, oh, fuck, I didn't almost die in this match.
Plan
shit.
B.
Plan B. John,
Break up the team.
fucking suffocate me. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. Was not expecting that, to be honest with you.
No, I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting John Moxley to be like, you know what? They probably did this in Romper Stomper. I never seen the movie, so I don't know if
I'm
plastic.
not going to.
No.
All right. Moving on to the true main event.
Yes.
Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland in a lights out steel cage match.
Unsanctioned.
31 minutes, 30 seconds. Let's talk about it.
Well, goddamn, pal.
Well, god fucking damn, pal.
There was a lot.
Hangman's depiction of mental illness. Chew quieter. Hangman's depiction of mental illness throughout his entire wrestling career is fucking insane. Actually insane.
There was a lot that happened.
There was so much that happened.
Don't you even think
There were
about
so
it,
many
guys.
minute details. He just needs to see what was going on TV. And this match in itself was just absolutely fucking bonkers. Absolutely fucking unhinged bonkers insane.
I'm trying to think of like what all happened here.
Well, first of all, they started the match by trying to decapitate each other
Yes.
via the cage.
And there was a bucket.
A bucket.
Yeah, the toolbox bucket.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it wasn't a toolbox. It was a crate.
Yeah.
It was a plastic crate. Plastic crate with some throwback stuff in there. The staple gun, of course, that's been, no pun intended, a staple in this feud. And we did a little bit of throwbacks with, Hangman stapling Swerve getting the staple gun and taking pictures of his family and stapling them to Hangman's face and then ripping them out. We had barbed wire, of course, as we always do. The barbed wire wrapped around the arm for the lariat. The buckshot lariat, which was not able to be hit during this match. From Hangman.
Yeah,
Hardly from
case.
Swerve.
Yeah.
No one else could do the buckshot aside from, literally Hangman and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that the only other person that could do it is fucking Logan Paul. But there was barbed wire that was wrapped into the steel cage and Swerve was thrown into it and his head was grated on it.
There was a cinder block.
There was a cinder block that was not a gimmick cinder block, pal.
I don't know, man.
I don't know what
Fuck.
that cinder block was, but it caused a nice laceration up Hangman's back.
There was a vertebraker on the cinder block.
There was a fucking vertebraker on the cinder block, and what did Hangman do to Swerve on the cinder block? Was it just a power bomb? Power bombed him onto it.
Yeah, he
Just threw him onto
Yeah,
it,
he just threw him on it.
and it didn't break. So I don't know what it was made out of because it wasn't some sort of foam. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was a real cinder block, but it was something.
Yeah.
God, what else happened in this match aside from obviously the finish?
Blood and
There was tables.
And oh my, and
Golly gee.
I thought someone was gonna get thrown through the cage.
Yeah, we thought someone was going to get thrown through their cage. We thought someone was going to jump off the top. That didn't happen. Just basically them brutalizing, destroying, dismantling, dismembering each other.
Yeah.
The entire time.
They were killing each other.
They were fucking killing each other. And then the ending of the match. The insane fucking ending of the match.
Was there a chain too? There was like a dog collar, wasn't there?
No, that was in the christened.
Oh yeah, okay.
And
See,
it was a chain.
I was like, well, someone had a chain.
Yeah, no, that was
Okay, I was
like,
like, one match with weapons had a chain. I'm not too sure.
yeah, I don't think there was a chain in their match. But yeah, so the finish.
This was insane.
Hangman is like, he's hitting Swerve with the chair. He's screaming at Swerve that said, I told you I'm going to make you beg. Now beg. Beg. Beg for mercy. Beg for mercy. He rips out his grill.
This was insane, bro.
He rips his grill out. He takes a syringe. A needle. A needle syringe. He takes it. He shoves it into or through his cheek. It was a little hard to tell if it went all the way through his cheek or if it was just into his cheek.
I think it went into his cheek and was dangling there.
Yeah. And then he took the chair. He hit Swerve over the head with the chair, breaking the chair and knocking him out.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the match. And then, the cage starts to lift. Hangman's doing his little, I finally conquered him. I finally defeated Swerve. All of this leading up to this moment is now finally over. I have gotten my revenge. Everything is done. And he gets out of the ring, and he starts walking up the ramp, and he gets to the top of the ramp. And then he looks. He looks at the scene. The medical professionals are already in the ring. Cage is lifted. Hangman observes the scene, and he starts to walk back. You can see in his eyes. He's like, was this all worth it? Did it have to go this far? Did I really do this? Did this really happen? He starts to walk back, and the crowd starts screaming. Chanting, cheering, screaming in horror. Either asking for more or terrified that he's going back, we don't really know. But the crowd reacts to Hangman starting to go back, and then he stops. And you can tell when he stops that he's taken back by the crowd's reaction because he doesn't know. Are they horrified by him? Are they wanting more? What did he just give to this crowd? What did he just do to another human being? And when they zoom in on his face, you could see him stare. You could see his lip quiver as he starts to walk back and turn around. And then he gets back to the top of the ramp. He raises his hand and he screams. He's down on his knees and he's screaming. And that's how it cuts out and that's how it ends.
See, I can understand that as well. I was thinking differently of, I guess, the lore, you would say, of this.
The lore!
So, Cage is coming up. He's walking back. He's realized, oh, fuck, did we go too far with this? Did it have to come to this? And then he just accepts the fact, yeah, I had to do it. That's what kind of, I got from it, was, he quickly, first off, had, that second thought of, it didn't have to come to this, but then he just, well, fuck it, we already did, we're this far in, I'm just gonna go with it now. That's kind of how I looked at it.
Maybe. But with knowing Hangman and his lore, and again, how Hangman consistently depicts mental illness as never linear. We saw him with the Elite, him struggling with the Elite, falling into alcoholism, losing all of his friends, finding new friends. learning that alcohol isn't the only thing that he needs. He wins a championship belt. He's offered a beer. He throws it off to the side because all that matters is his friends, the Dark Order, are there with him. And that's all he ever really wanted. He wanted to be accepted for who he was. He wanted to be loved for who he was. He didn't want to be changed by the elite. He didn't want to be changed by any of this. He just wanted to be him. Hangman goes on, to have more of a, I don't want to say like a recovery arc, but we'll just say it like in that instance. We're like, Hangman's doing good. He's doing good. He has a championship belt.
He's sober.
He's sober. He loses the belt.
To a sober guy.
He loses the belt. He starts to regain his friendship back with the elite. He starts having rifts with the Dark Order. The Dark Order are mad at the elite because of things that the elite did. Hangman's like, no, can't we all be friends? And then they start having issues with Hangman being friends with the elite and everything, and that whole thing happens, and Hangman ends up inevitably joining back with the elite. The elite reform, and then they kind of get into this whole situation that goes on where the elite's reformed, and then Kenny gets injured from his diverticulitis, and then
the elite fall apart.
And Kenny's out of the elite, and Hangman's suspended from the elite, but he's still a part of the elite, but Hangman doesn't actually want to be a part of the elite because Swerve Strickland has ruined his life, and Hangman has started to fall back into that mental state, into that unhealthy mental state, where his friends aren't really his friends anymore because his friends are these egotistical douchebags that just suspended him for not showing up to work. Or what was it? No, Kenny got fired for not showing up to work. Hangman got suspended
because of his actions. Attacking referees and shit.
Because he was attacking refs. And Hangman got suspended for that. So Hangman, was gone for a little bit and then came back. And he comes back from a suspension. His friends suck. The elite's not really what the elite should stand for anymore. The only person that might even be able to kind of be there for him, because he destroyed Evil Uno, kind of just solidifying any fact against regrouping with the Dark Order. The only person that hasn't shown their face, Kenny. Kenny hasn't come face to face with Hangman yet, with Hangman being back and Hangman being here because he's injured with his diverticulitis. Theories of if Kenny's actually gonna join up with Hangman and help him out, we'll see. But they've both been wronged by the elite, and they both hold resentment towards the Bucks and the elite right now. Basically, Hangman's now fallen back into this pit of despair, of anger, of hatred, ever more so than before. Because it's not just depression, it's anger, it's anxiety, it's depression, it's possibly even some sort of borderline PTSD, if we're really getting into it.
You writing this shit?
It is quite literally driven him mad. It has driven him to a breaking point that Hangman has yet to get to. Well, he did now, but he, at the time, has never gone this far. Hangman is so blinded by his anger, by his rage, by his mental issues, that he dedicates his life, he dedicates everything that he's been trying to do to not have Swerve be the world champion, and Swerve has the world championship, will get the world championship off of him. I'm going to ruin his life. I want his life ruined. I want this man's head on a fucking platter because he fucking ruined my life. He caused me to be like this. He did this to me. And then when it's all said and done, Hangman's there assessing the damages. Everything's done. Everything's over with. What you wanted. You got everything you wanted. You wanted this to happen. You made this happen. Swerve didn't make this happen. You made this happen. Your actions caused what has gone to Swerve now in the ring. Your actions are the reason that there's medical personnel, that there's a needle in this man's fucking face, that there is a chair broken over his head. This man no longer has a childhood home, no place to raise his family. Your house still existed. You just had to move because you were frightened. He doesn't have a house to go back to. Hangman now realizes what he has done, what the anger has taken over him.
Did I write this storyline?
The
What
person,
fuck?
the person that Hangman has become, the question is ringing in his head that Swerve has asked him, what type of man are you gonna be that your son looks up to? Is he proud of that? I don't think he is. Is he proud of the fans' reaction? I don't think he is. I think he's now accepted the fact that it has gone too far. But I think he's accepted the fact that he did this. And that his response to the actions of Swerve are unjust and completely in his own hands, and he has nobody else to blame but himself. And where a Hangman's mental health takes from here, I don't know. We might be getting our depressed cowboy back, who just falls further and further into madness, because how is he supposed to take himself out of this now? He's done it. He can't take it back. He is this person now. And he doesn't want to be this person, but he's stuck being this person.
And supposedly Swerve, this was a way to write him off TV as well.
What's he going to go do?
I don't know what he's doing. I think he's just getting... I didn't
Probably
see
taking
anything.
time off.
I saw something where in his contract, like the new contract that he signed, that was like one of like the big things. He just wanted time off.
That's fair. I mean, the man has been busting his ass.
So...
Busting his ass since he got there. He deserves a little vacation. Ghostifer.
What's he doing?
He was trying to scratch at the wall. No, don't do that. Give me your thoughts and opinions about this match, because I've been yapping to a degree.
So, I'm not going to shit on the match, because the match was good. I enjoyed the match, despite what people on Twitter are saying and stuff. I understand, it's not for everyone. It was a borderline death match. The only thing I would really complain about is the needle. I understand, it's wrestling. There's a place for that. Like, that's like, you don't really have to do syringes. It's whatever, though. It's not a big deal. It's just me saying I personally wouldn't have done that spot. The chair shot to the head is a big controversial topic because of CTE, brain damage, all of that. I understand that too. Lyssie and I would be hypocrites to bury the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
That will eventually get uploaded. And so will Way Back Wednesday matches, I promise. Just haven't done them in a while. But the way the chair broke and everything seems gimmicked. I know that doesn't really matter. I don't know how they gimmick chairs. Whatever. I'm just going to say that I enjoyed this match because I'm also a fan of death matches. Go back to episode 1 for insights on all that shit. But I enjoyed this match because it was a very good storytelling match. It was violent. And it kept me guessing of like, who wins this? What happens? What is the end goal here? And all of that. And now the story has kept me invested too. Like, it's been an invested story. And I'm still invested because now I want to see, like, where do they go from here? Type of thing.
Well, I think Swerve and Hangman's done.
Yeah. But it's like, what do we do from here? Like, we just witnessed a fucking murder.
Where does Hangman go from here?
Yeah.
Who is the one person that can bring Hangman down? Is it Kenny? Are we getting Hangman and Kenny again? Is that a story that we could expect to happen?
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All in all, this match was fantastic. This feud was fantastic. Of course, I'm excited to see anything that happens with Hangman and where we're going forward with this. But with that being said, that wraps up the pay-per-view. All in all, solid pay-per-view. It was non-stop from start to finish. And I think it was one of the best ones of the year.
Yeah, it's on the better side.
Yeah.
It's on the better side.
Anyway, I guess that takes us into the wrestler of the week.
Yes, sir.
I don't have a wrestler of the week.
Oh, no.
I haven't figured it out yet.
What the fuck, Lizzie?
I don't know what to do about this.
Oh my god.
I'm so scared.
People are gonna be pissed. People listen to the podcast just for this.
They might, honestly.
What the fuck, Lissy?
Let me.
This is how we promote our fucking episodes.
Let's give me your phone.
What do you want? Because you don't know how to work my fucking phone.
Unlock the fucking phone. That's all I need.
There we go.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Do you know how to get off? Oh, I thought you were going to another app or whatever.
No.
Because you always like, how do you fucking swipe out of this?
Looking through to see who is on here that we can talk about that was on the pay-per-view.
We have not had John Moxley as Wrestler of the Week. Or Swerve.
Have we really not had John Moxley?
We have not had John Moxley as Wrestler of the Week. Nigel McGuinness.
I'm not talking about Nigel McGuinness. I don't know enough about Nigel McGuinness's wrestling history.
There's Willow. I'm trying to help you out.
Fuck it. Let's talk about Mox.
Okay.
Let's talk about Mox.
So the Wrestler of the Week is Mox.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess ask me some questions.
Why do you like the plumber?
Well, so fun story about John Moxley. I was blissfully unaware of how much people love this motherfucker. Even though I'm aware of the Shield and whatnot, I did not draw the connection that John Moxley and Dean Ambrose were the same person. I kind of forgot who the third guy in the Shield was.
Damn, he's the third guy in the Shield.
In my brain, it was like, who's the third guy in the Shield? I don't remember who that guy was. I have no idea about anything to do with Ambrose's Asylum. I know it was a thing.
Oh, God.
I know that he had a plant tag team partner. What was his name? Keith?
Mitch.
Mitch
the fucking cactus or whatever the fuck.
Mitch the plant.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. But no, I liked watching John Moxley when I started watching AEW. Because I liked that his whole thing was just kind of brutalizing people, you know? And at the time, he was still doing stuff over in GCW. So watching John Moxley in AEW and then seeing him go over to this company called GCW got me into like, oh, okay, what's this whole thing about? Oh, cool, these people murder. They murder. That's what they do here. Awesome. I like this. So kind of like opened up like, you know, different horizons of different types of wrestling that was going on. Not like different types, like obviously I knew about like, you know, hardcore wrestling and whatnot. But, you know, like, oh shit, stuff like this is like still accessible in the United States today. So that's really cool that this is like kind of a new ECW type of thing. So yeah. I like his whole thing about like taking no shit, brutalizing people, and, you know, giving no fucks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fair match, John Moxley.
The 3-minute squash match with CM Punk.
Yeah? Oh, that's not how it's supposed to go?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that not how this is supposed to go? No, that's not. I mean, that's one of the funniest things that John Moxley's ever done, frankly. I don't know. I really dug his story, like we were just talking earlier. His story with Danielson before Blackpool Combat Club was a thing. Like, I really fucking liked that. I liked that a lot.
My favorite John Moxley match is actually when he was Dean Ambrose, and he wrestled EC3 on a random episode of Monday Night Raw in 2019, and he lost in like 3 minutes when he was on his way out the door. No, I'm kidding. My favorite John Moxley match would have to be against Neil Diamond Cutter from, I think it's like IWA or CZW or some shit. It's a drunken death match, and John Moxley sings Sweet Caroline. Sweet Caroline, bum bum bum. Another favorite John Moxley moment is actually me and Bryce used to fucking just do it randomly. There's a CZW promo where he like is drunk or some shit, and he goes, "Where's the buffalo? Where's the buffalo?" CCW John Moxley was wild, bro.
What a wild man.
No, I always enjoyed his feud. I like his shit with Eddie's always cool to watch.
Yeah.
Trying to think of other ones.
Oh, that's another good one. Him and Eddie versus the Bucks.
Yeah.
That's another good one when they stole the fucking Air Dior's.
Yeah.
That was my first experience with the Young Bucks. I'm sure I mentioned it before, and that's how I knew I loved them.
Mox versus Kenny from the first Full Gear in the Lights Out match was a good one. No, I have to say honestly, my favorite one because we saw it live is him, Moxley, and Punk versus FTR.
Oh yeah, that was a good
Because
one.
we saw that live.
That was a good one. I forgot about that. Is that Dave Bautista on my screen?
That's Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista.
Yep.
I don't know, give me some more things about Mox.
Man. Do you think he's like the ace in AEW?
Yeah. And I would give him that title just for the simple fact of how much he has carried that company on his back through the hardest times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he is one of the top names. He was one of the biggest names going into AEW's formation. You know, like there was the Bucks, there was Kenny.
Besides Cody, like, and Jericho, Mox was like the first like guy from the other company to jump over.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say. Like, we had Kenny and the Bucks and Hangman and Cody, who already were like huge from over in Japan. And then we had Jericho, and then we also had Mox. And they were like the drawing points of like Mox, Jericho, and you could argue Cody. But I would say Cody was a little bit more in with the New Japan because that's where he was coming from. He wasn't necessarily coming from WWE at the point. I don't think Jericho necessarily was either. I don't remember where Jericho was before. But
what do you mean?
Was Jericho in WWE and then very soon after went to AEW, or was he like a free agent?
He was technically a free agent, so he left WWE, went and did the Japan match with Kenny, did a little bit of...
That's right, he was over in Japan.
Did a little bit of Japan stuff. He returned back to WWE for like 2 fucking shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was gone again, and then AEW happened.
Yeah.
And here he is.
So, I mean, but the thing is, Jericho, you could argue, is the largest name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jericho, at that time, especially in 2019 at that time, what a fucking 5-year fucking turnaround this has been.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jericho was like one of the biggest wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
Because of everything that he was doing.
So, Jericho and Mox were 2 of the big names that people knew from WWE more so. I mean, people knew Cody from WWE, but
people were excited for Jon Moxley coming over to AEW because he wasn't going to be Dean Ambrose. He was going to be Jon Moxley, and AEW, they like that smart indie crowd.
Yeah.
Which, that's Jon Moxley, death matches and all that shit. So everyone was like, oh shit, this is going to be something completely fucking different.
Yeah.
And it is.
So, him and Jericho coming in were the biggest names to draw people not only from WWE, but then like the indie crowd also in as well. And honestly, quite literally ever since day one, Jon Moxley has put that company on his back when it's needed most, and he's always shown up for them. He was not under contract when he was the fucking AEW World Champion. At all. Well, not at all, but when he took it off of Punk.
Yeah.
He wasn't under contract. And he had enough respect and love for the company and the business and enough trust from Tony Khan and the locker room to carry that belt without a fucking contract. And to me...
Same with Bryan Danielson, supposedly.
Yeah. Well, to me, that just speaks enough volumes about a character. You know what I mean? Like, the character of a person. It's just truthfully, like, beloved.
Just crazy that he comes back from his vacation. He's, like, acting weird.
Never send him on a vacation again.
It's like when people go to Jamaica and they make that, like, their whole fucking, like, thing. For like,
a month?
Yeah, for a month. Like, I was at Jamaica. Like, we're gonna have this Jamaican fucking beer or some shit.
But, no, like, I truthfully believe he deserves the title. of the Ace.
All right, fair. Do you think he will ever go back to WWE? No?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know. Maybe towards the end of his career.
I think Mox is gonna ride or die AEW till the very end. If there ever is a very end, I don't think there will be. I think Mox is with AEW like fully. If he ever decides to not be in AEW, I can see him going back to the Indies.
I see him going back to WWE, but listen to me. At the end of his career, what I mean by that is he's retired already. He is... Okay, I did not want Siri to pick that up. There we go. He's going to retire. He's done. He's no longer a contract or whatever. He signs like a Legends deal with WWE, so him and the Shield can get inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's what I see.
I mean, I could see that, and only that, but I don't think he's ever stepping foot in a WWE ring again.
No.
I don't think he's ever wrestling for WWE.
No, that's what I mean. He's not going to wrestle now.
All right, you got any more questions for me?
Can you do John Moxley, the ring announcer?
What?
John Moxley!
John Moxley! Yeah, that's like the closest we're getting to that.
Wild Thing!
You make my heart sing.
You make everything
Groovy.
groovy. My favorite CM Punk moment in AEW is when he was making Snow Angels the Wild Thing. You think that like he like thinks back on his AEW moments and he's like, man, remember when I was making Snow Angels in the ring? That was actually kind of funny.
I think CM Punk looks back on his AEW days and he thinks of it as a fever dream.
He's probably like, what the fuck happened?
Well, you showed up, you won a belt, you got into a fight, then you came back,
bro.
Then you got into another fight, and then you got fired.
Once they put the belt on Punk, everything fell apart.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
Like his foot, his tricep, everything.
I've been saying that. You should have never taken it off of Hangman. Everything would have been so much better.
Like, they put the belt on him and it was like fucking cursed him.
Yeah.
But shout out to Drew McIntyre for being the new AEW the real world champion.
That's so true.
He is.
All right. Anything else we got?
No, take us the fuck out of here.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, watching, tuning in, whatever you want to call it. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you're more than welcome to. It is Talkin Wrasslin Pod. That is TALKIN_WRASSLIN_POD. If you want to follow me on any socials, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the same handle, which is Lungtar, that is LUNG_TAR, or Lungbucks on TikTok, which is LUNG_BUCKS. My TikTok, I talk about wrestling. My Twitter, I talk about wrestling. My Instagram, I talk about wrestling. But my Twitter and Instagram might have a little bit more stuff on it, like, you know, some football stuff, some tattoo stuff, some art related stuff, all that fun jazz. Dylan, where can they find you?
Sorry, I'm tired. I'm ready for bed. That's where you can find me. In my bed. Sleeping. Anyway, you can find me on the Instagram or the Twitter, now known as X, at Danny_Valo_line, DANI_VALO_line. It's social media. I post things there sometimes. Enjoy.
Okay. Well, again, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, send it to your friends, family, parents, people that you hate, people that you don't hate, wrestling promotions.
And make sure to drink water.
Definitely drink water.
Drink water.
Get one of those big gallons that tells you how much water
Lyssie's trying to get
drinking.
me a fucking gallon of water.
I am. I'm trying to get Dylan a gallon of water bottle. And you're assaulting the set now, Dylan.
No. We got into like a weird conversation this morning when we were at Walmart at like 7 a.m.
God.
And I was like, man, I've been drinking a lot of water, but like, how does this conversation start?
Oh, I just said I think you should get a water bottle because you just reuse plastic water bottles.
I do. I just use them.
And you should just get like a regular water bottle.
And then I went through like my whole. I was like, listen, this is what I do during the day. I drink water, and then I drink soda, and then I drink water.
Anyway, I'm done with this because I still gotta do stuff and edit, and I might make you go to the gas station with me to buy a vape.
Bullshit.
I'm at 3% juice.
Listen, there is an active shooter out there.
But I have work at 4:30 in the morning.
There is an active shooter out there.
Alright, I'll just go through nicotine withdrawal. Alright. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment down below, send it to your friends, family, people you hate, and make sure to go and purchase Jack Perry's new merchandise on his Scapegoat website. Thank you guys. Goodbye.
Bye.